What up? Cheers, everybody. Happy Mag Dump Monday, and kicking off your Monday with a little bit of fun. How about it? I think this is a good look. Quite frankly, I like it. You know, I think this should be the norm for just about everybody. Oh, you guys, tell me what you think down in the chat. All right. By the way, Keith Decker, I saw that it is your birthday. Boom. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. Cheers to you. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Appreciate every last one of you guys. Oh, man. Starting early, too, with the super sticker from Solo Gordo. Appreciate you, Solo. Thank you. Much appreciated. By the way, super stickers, super chats, all that type of stuff, fun stuff. Very much so appreciated. Of course, I'll try to get to as many comments of all that type of fun stuff. But the super chats, super stickers, they all show up nice and brightly, and you're supporting the channel and the Nods Fund. One day, am I right? All right. Cool, man. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Obviously, today's video or live stream is going to be about gear. All right. Let me go ahead and just get a little bit more comfortable here. Actually, we're going to go over some stuff and things. All right. And we'll talk a little bit about different gear setup, what works for different people. Like my helmet, for instance, right? I went a little, it's a nice helmet. It's Guard Dog. It's their level 4. I've shot these, performed really well. I'm happy with how it performed. Like, I don't want to get shot in the head or anything, but I would trust this. It is a little heavy, though. A little heavy, a little chunky. I would like something a little bit lighter, but still pretty, could take a beating, right? But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. Not an expensive setup, I don't think. I went with the cheaper HHV, connections, things like that. But yeah, the Peltor sound traps, they're cheap. I don't really like how you replace the batteries on these. You have to take the muff completely out. And like I said, they're just cheap. The little foamies here, they're gone. I don't know where they're at. The batteries pretty much stay dead in those, but you get it. Right. So we're going to be talking about a couple of different options, right? We're going to be talking plate carrier, battle belt, because I want this video, at least the beginning of it, and then I want you guys to email in magdumpmafia@gmail.com some of your setup. Right? If you've got pictures, photos of yourself, kitted up, let me know, right? magdumpmafia@gmail.com. But I wanted to talk a little bit about it because a lot of the questions I get in the comment section on the different videos is, hey, what holster are you rocking? What belt is that? What plate carrier is that? What helmet might that be? Whatever it is, right? And so it's like, well, let's talk about it. Actually, the number one thing I get asked is about this, not the Thunder Ranch logo. The phone case setup, right? Juggernaut case makes this little guy, and it's pretty nifty. Yeah, you can get your cool little, keep the video recording while you're running and gunning. But I prefer the glasses for that, actually. And I'll explain that here in just a moment about why I prefer the glasses. But this is pretty neat, right? For one thing you might notice is if you're running around in jeans and a t-shirt and you've got your belt on, you got your plate carry on, you'll notice that finding actually room in your pockets for your phone can be a little difficult. But if you've got your plate carrier on and you throw this on there, now you got your phone stored somewhere and you can get to it rather quickly if you need to, right? See how that works? It's pretty cool. Not sponsored in any way by anybody that I'm actually showing off today. So, there's that. Okay. So yeah, spent money on the plate carrier, spent money on the Ace Tac SOP that I picked up from my friends over at Monadnock Firearms. Actually, this is a cool chest rig with the little dangler, but you can obviously separate it and integrates well into most plate carriers. This being the JPC 2.0. I decided to go with the Cry JPC 2.0 because I wanted something a little bit more modular. But yeah, so that's that. We'll talk about shirt, pants, all that stuff too here in just a moment, and what I really think about that stuff. But like I said, I want to hear from you guys, how you guys got your gear set up and all that. By the way, two-way bourbon, old fashioned tonight. For me, it's just bourbon, orange bitters, one cube of sugar, 2 Marciano cherries, muddled all up, a couple of ice cubes. We're good. Cheers. Again, happy birthday, Keith. Good to see you, man. Okay, so I've got the glasses sitting here, and you'll see these fashionable glasses on me in a lot of videos, and that's because there's a little button right here. I can take a photo or I can record with them. And so, that's where you see the FPV shots come from, which is pretty cool. These are not ballistic in any type of way. However, they are not eye protection. They're just cool guy things. So if you're willing to risk it, so be it. The safer way to go, obviously, is actual eye protection and run the phone. But honestly, you don't get as cool of a shot, because if you can think about it, you're kind of here, and then that's all you get is right in here while you're shooting and everything. So, okay. Cool. I'll put these away for now so I have more room in front of me. How's everybody Monday going, by the way? Hope it's going well. I want to hear from you guys. I'll get to the comments here in just a second. But Tanner, I saw you as well. Good to see you, bro. Good to see all you guys. Appreciate y'all. And yes, thank you again, Solo Gordo, for that. All right. Jake, guess why I was like 2 minutes late to the stream? I was putting a fresh battery in the camera. I can't do anything, however, if it overheats, which apparently the Sony, A7 IV is like known to do. So I've got every compartment opened up on it. Hopefully it's aired out enough. All right. Tactical Jawa, good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm excited to see those knives, by the way. So we'll talk about that later. You've got a Guard Dog level 3A helmet. There you go. I didn't even know they made a level 3A helmet, so that's cool. But I'm sure that's a little bit lighter than mine. I've got Guard Dog Ridgeback plates in this, by the way. Like I said, I shot so much of their stuff, and it's affordable that it's like, all right, I'm going to go with that. The other guys that I really like, Premier Body Armor as well. Solid stuff, lighter. So I shot plenty of that as well. So there you go. Okay. I did, in fact, by the way, say dangler. And we'll talk a little bit about what's good, what's not good, like what's, I don't know. How can I say it? Let me see. 1 second, too. I wanted to add, if I can figure it out really quick. I don't know. Never mind. But it's going to try to upload something really quick, but I'll do it later. So, Rob, of course, real men drink it straight. I love 2A bourbon, scotch, most of my alcohol straight, but I do love an old fashioned. It's just something about it, It's probably the cherries. I love it. All right. And yeah, it's a nice drink for a Monday, right, Keith? Cool. So let's go over just everything I'm wearing right now. We already talked a little bit about the helmet. Already talked a little bit about the plate carrier and the chest rig. I did do a couple of upgrades from A&A Tactical on the cummerbund that you can see right here, and the padded shoulder harnesses or shoulder straps, because if you wear one of these for a long period of time, you either want more surface area or extra padding right in here, and you'll figure that out pretty quickly if you wear it all day, as I have mine. I actually, at my unit in the Marines, they allow me to wear this just like this, and that's like, sweet, dude. Nobody says anything. I was like, showed up in it one day and like, oh, I got to wear this all day. What better way to test it is doing my job in the Marines? And showed up. Everybody's like, hey, nice plate carrier. Anyway, we got this job to do. Actually, nobody said that. They just said we have this job to do. So there you have it. But yeah, so that's why I typically get all my stuff FDE, so that way I can still wear it while doing my duties for the Marines. Okay. Let's see. A&A Tactical, cool stuff. What I like about this is it gives me the Swift clips from First Spear, which, again, I really like. Easy on and off. And additionally, so sometimes too easy. And additionally, it allows me, let's say I've got, because it gets cold up here in the north, let's say I put on some extra layers, like shameless plug, one of your new CM branded hoodies, or one of these CM branded jackets, right? Decided to go ahead and add these to the shop because, well, I like soft outer shells. It's good for a lot of pockets, maybe too many pockets personally. Also does have the integrated hood. I don't like hoods, so I took mine out. That's just another personal thing. I'll put it on here in just a moment, but I just wanted to bring up some new stuff added to the magdumpmerch.store. Okay. But what's cool about the First Spear integration from A&A Tactical for the cummerbund is if I am wearing thicker clothing because it's cold, whatever, it's actually easy to adjust. Again, just take my panel here, flip that up, and now this guy, as you can see underneath, I can take that. I actually really don't want to do this because I got everything sized, but whatever. I can take that and loosen it, and you'll see how much more play there is now, right? And you can do that on the fly, which is pretty freaking nice. Pros and cons about having this. One, snacks. Usually I have Cliff Bars, things like that in here, Band-Aids, moleskin, you know, just little things like that. I got an emergency blanket in here, and a Marine Corps flask, because you never know. Hello. That's Lagavulin. Yes, it is. Cheers. All right. And that's straight, Rob. Unlike you. All right. All right. Oh, man, I crack myself up sometime. Okay. So having this is nice. Also, the tourniquet has these two little straps where you can put your tourniquet, right? One thing you'll notice, though, is when you're running, it's nothing but an annoyance. It doesn't hinder me. I have found when I get in the prone position, something like that, I've never had an issue where I'm like on top of this thing. Is it a possibility? Sure, but it's not bad. All right, not bad. Clint bars, Cliff bars. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna need more super chats for getting absolutely undressed. All right. Okay. Continuing on here. Up here, this is where I've actually got more first aid. Just in case I don't have my trauma pack, which you guys see right back here. Okay. I don't have my battle belt. I still want something extra on here. I've got all sorts of different little things. Chest seals, twin pack of that. And that's just up front here. Okay. And I'm going to be doing this more with my buddy Rich. You guys remember the 30-year EMT on the channel? He and I are going to be going over a lot of this stuff. I've got gloves. I've got, again, basic first aid type of stuff in here because I'm not a medic. I'm not a corpsman. I don't know surgery. I could barely figure it out, right? So there you have it. In my main pack, that's where I've got splints and things like that, where we'll do a breakdown of that at a later time. So there you have it. Already zipped that up. All right. So again, that's all that's in here. All right. What's cool about this part is too, again, let's say I no longer need this. It's just an empty pouch, whatever it might be. It's easy enough, again, to rip this out. All of its Velcro underneath here. Very tactical because of how quiet it is. Yep. By the way, there is actually a way to silence or mask the Velcro if you have to in a very tactical scenario. You just simply go, ah! And then it quiets the Velcro. So there you have it. But I can rip this away if need be. All right, cool. That's really about it when it comes to the plate carrier. The actual panel that you see here on either side, you've got these little pockets, which I find extremely useful for my Stiletto Pro and my Leatherman. Because you always need a good Leatherman or a Gerber or something, right? And this is an actual Leatherman super tool. This is the EOD model. so I can plug holes in C4 for a blasting cap and stuff like that. I have this because my recruiter told me that since I'm going in as an ammo tech, I'm pretty much an EOD, explosive ordnance disposal operator. I'm like, that's awesome. That was a lie. I'm still in, though, 13 years later, so am I stupid or what? Okay, cool. That's pretty much it for this. Take this off just in case my fiance tells me that the babies are acting up and I need to cut the string. But yeah, there's not much more I really keep on here. By the way, I will, if I want to have an extra mag, pistol mag or something like that, yes, I can obviously tuck that there, but I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm doing. If I know I'm going to be spending all day during the day on a flat range, then I might not have the flashlight with me. You know what I'm saying? Or I might just keep it there because you never know. Cool. Well, that's that. Let's go ahead and pop this off and we'll talk about the shirt that I'm wearing. Again, easy enough. Pull up, lift off. And I'll throw it on my hold up display so I don't have a big empty spot here. Fair enough. Oh, and the boonie, if you guys are coming over from Instagram, this is at Kokajaru Tactical. Their little Bravo 6 boonie, which I think is kind of cool because it can integrate night vision right onto the boonie. How freaking nice is that, right? But boonies are awesome because they do a couple of cool things for you. One of which, the most important thing, is they keep the sun off your face, right? If you ever find me out at ITX 29 Palms, I always buy a large boonie. It looks ridiculous on me, but I am shaded and I am comfortable, and that's what I keep on me. That's all there is to it, right? So these things are nice. I recommend a quality boonie. And there you have it. All right. Sweet. I'll put the helmet back too because it just looks cool. Make sure everything's straight there. Does that look all right on camera? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Good enough anyway. Whatever. It's alive. So there you go. Okay. That's the entire point. Jessica Sim 44, Bravo 6 vibes, or Captain Price 6, Bravo 6, Captain Price vibes, Bravo 6 going dark. There we go. Can I get it all out? All right. And neck. Yes. The boonies cover the neck. Definitely recommend, right? Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll back up, see if you guys have any questions or anything like that. There you go. Ohio gear guy. Wow. Can't believe you're into gear. Who would have thought, right? So there you go. Let's see here. I see you have a mare's leg. Yes, that's a recent acquisition. That guy right over there. 357. Absolutely love that. Panda Sniper in the house. Good to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Cool. I'll scroll back through and get to more of those here shortly. Yes, the FAL has been pimped out a little bit more, but more is probably coming. All right. So there you go. Okay. So the shirt. By the way, don't make fun of me too bad. I have recently started actually working out again and really trying to get into it this time. And I am tacking on mass. I'm eating a lot, or at least trying to. Going to be eating a lot. I'm doing kind of a hybrid clean, dirty bulk because I'm just like eating anything and everything and then trying to lift heavy. And cardio, because cardio is very important. Anyway, all right. So the shirt. Born Primitive. I don't know if you guys heard of them or not, but they're advertising all over the place, and I fell for it. And I was like, all right, let's try them out. Okay. So the shirt and the pants. By the way, I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. This is a medium. These are 32 waist, 33 inseam. Okay. And having worn it a little bit now with the plate care and everything, I will say the material up front and on the back, super comfortable. I really like everything else that they've done with like the reinforcement all throughout the sleeves and all that. Obviously, I went for woodland because it's a vibe. And then if you'll notice back here, this kind of comes up and really protects the neck when you're wearing chest harnesses, plate carriers, whatever it might be. It's a cool design. I like it quite a bit. I think it's pretty neat. However, it is all made in China and very expensive. So that's a little concerning also. What are you going to do, right? But after all, I'm pretty happy with it. So the pants, like I mentioned before, same thing. Okay. Born Primitive. I love the pants. Absolutely love the pants. Super comfortable. I've been running and gunning in them. I've been like, I haven't gotten any rips or anything, which is more than what I can say for my Wrangler jeans, which I thought were going to be a lot more durable than what they've actually turned out to be. It is what it is, right? So I'm a fan of that. Okay. Cool. And Scott, I am just a little guy. All right. I don't have to tell you. I would say I was built for speed, but that 3 mile kicks my ass every year. I don't know. That's why I just shoot well, I guess. Let's see here. Garen saying is 205-ish is your goal. I'd like to get on up there, but I also want to be under my weight for the Marines. So I'm going to be closer to, my goal is going to be about another 10 pounds at least. I think my limit is like 180, 185, something like that. But that's the Marine Corps standard. And as long as my physical fitness test and my combat fitness test are like first class, then I can get a waiver for being big, right? Big. So there you go. All right. Let's see here. The belt, AWS gear. AWS gear. This is the SMU belt. Okay. Yes, I already know that I have this on the wrong side because it's supposed to be on my left-hand side if I'm actually rappelling from helicopters and stuff, which I'm not. I just, honestly, when I was putting the belt together, I didn't pay any attention to it because I've never rappelled anything like that. Well, I can't say I've never rappelled, but I've always had a dedicated harness for that. So, look, I'm free to admit, I'm going to admit, like, hey, when I was putting this belt together years ago now, I decided to just go with the right side because I felt like that was what was more natural to me. I was wrong, but I'm also too lazy to take everything off and flip it. So sue me or whatever. Okay. So there you go. That's what I'm hitting up now. SMU again from AWS gear. And I love this belt. It does utilize a outer inner belt system or a padded belt as well, which there you go. There's the inner padded belt. So if you just wanted to go over clothing instead of having a Velcro inner belt, ready? There you go. That's all there is to it. Okay. Once you get it sized, you're pretty much all set. But like I said, if I wanted to go just over my clothing, I just kind of line this up to where it makes sense. And now I can just take that, throw it over, whatever's comfortable. There you go, ready to rock and roll. Boom, done, right? Easy enough, and it's comfortable. I run it both ways all the time. So there you have that. I'm just going to toss that over there for now. Okay, let's go ahead and just go around the belt here. This is how I've had it set up for years now, and it's worked very well for me and the different classes that I've taken and things like that. Okay, so going, I guess that would be clockwise for however it's presented to you, whatever. Going to my right, we're going to start with what I've got tucked underneath with just a simple Velcro strap. As you can see, is the Columbia River knife and tool. I think it's called the Spew. Seaweed. Sorry, the Spew's the tinier one. This is the Seaweed. Really like this knife. Cool. Works. I think a fixed blade is the way to go. When I do have my pocket knife on me, though, it's usually also Columbia River knife and tool. It's this guy, and there's a reason why I went with orange. Because if you've ever dropped your pocket knife out in nature, you might notice it gets a little difficult to find. Orange is not a natural color, at least in my part of the area in which I live. So it shows up pretty, now that I'm actually in New England during the fall, once those leaves start to change color, this does blend in actually. So there you go. Select your camouflage for your environment, right? Okay. Coming on back here, what I've got is the Alpha Mega Kydex holsters, code MAGDUMP, by the way. Alpha Omega Kydex holster, QLS system. This is also for the SIG 320, but it pretty much indexes on the Surefire X300 Lite. So I've run all sorts of different guns just through this one holster, including my Bull Armory, including, well, a lot. Like, let me just turn around and look. So the SIG 226 Legion, the SIG 320, obviously, this Glock, my Berettas, that's still on camera? Yeah. The Oracle Arms 2311, the 1911 here even, and something a little bit newer to the channel that you guys haven't seen yet. I am super excited. That is my Sig Sauer 226 X5 Reserve. That is a beautiful gun. I love that gun. We'll talk about it soon. But anyway, and like I said, a few other pistols as well. Okay. Works really good. What's cool about this system, this is a Safariland leg shroud. This allows me to utilize that QLS fork that you see right here, so I can easily pop it on and off, not going anywhere once it is on, and switch out different holsters if I so choose to. But it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, there you go. Easy enough. Coming on back, you guys are probably familiar with Trauma Pack, at least from the channel, because I talk about these guys all the time because I absolutely love them. Also Code Magdump. You know that these guys have a Save a Life program, so they will replace any item that you use from one of their kits in an emergency situation, a true emergency situation. They'll replace that item at no cost, right? You use one of the tourniquets that you get, you utilize whatever to save a life, they replace it at no cost. I think it's really cool. Everything in here is nice and contained. So when I open this up, again, more Velcro, you'll notice there's a strap here that's pulling out the entire kit. I don't have a bunch of stuff falling in front of me. I got everything nice and itemized right here that I can put right in front of me. And it is in one of those UV protected bags, so none of the stuff is really exposed. It's also still covered in here, so it's really well protected. Really cool design. Keep it on coming. HSGI long pistol mag pouch. I'll put a silencer in here. I'll put MP5 mags, whatever it might be. Okay. Dump pouches. Dump pouches are sometimes shit on. I personally do like a dump pouch, not all the time. And you'll notice that if you go back and watch my video with Classic at the Fort Scott Munitions Battle Line Tactical training with Tonto. I had mags back here, obviously running and gunning. What happens? They fall out, okay? What's nice about the Blue Force Gear little mini dump pouch, you've got this, first of all, you got a Velcro cover here that does that. That makes life pretty easy if you've got stuff in you don't want falling out. Obviously, it's netted, so water, dirt, all that just falls out too, okay? Now, what's cool is if I so choose to not want to use this, also it does have a drawstring as well. So if I wanted to cinch it, I can. But if I don't want to use it, just wrap it up, tuck it into itself, and then it's got another little, trying to do this while holding it also is a little funky, but you guys get the gist of it, right? Anyway, folds up into itself, nice and compact. Sweet, right? Continuing on, high-speed gear taco pouches. I really like the pouches. The only problem I've ever had is with metal magazines, especially my FNX 45 tactical mags, heavier bullet, more weight. When I am running, those mags were notorious for just popping out of here. And I've got this guy tight, right? So when it comes to more of a combat loadout, you'll probably actually see me switch these out eventually for something that either has bungee retention or is super firm when it comes to grabbing. I might even completely ditch the idea of the double taco, which is a rifle and pistol mag integrated, and just go to rifle, and then I still have room up here where I could probably throw in two, if I remove the gloves even, two pistol mags. And that's probably the way I'm going to go in the future at some point. Okay. Mechanics wear, impact gloves. Gloves are just good to have. That's all there is to it. Okay. And that's the battle belt setup. Questions, concerns, comments? All right. Let's throw that on over here. Okay. Right next to my Gundy, which voting opens on December 1st. Don't know if you guys saw that or not. All right. Cool. All right. Let's get to the comments here. Let me go back. Got another super chat that came in. Thank you so much, 601 Firepower. Your thoughts on the Ruger American 16-inch and either 7.62 by 39 or 300 blackout? Half-ass for short, mid-range, max 500 yards with bullet drop in mind. 500 yards for 7.62 by 39 and 300 blackout is a reach, but – 760 by 39 is cool. There's just, in this country, better ammunition available in 300 blackout. That's the way I would go. Also, a bolt gun suppressed with subsonic ammo, entirely too much fun. You're not reaching out to 500 yards with that, however. So take that into consideration. But he put some supers through it. I mean, you got enough elevation there. It'll make it, but right. But I would go 300 blackout personally. Okay. Cool. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and let me scroll back just a little bit because I want to make sure that talking about overheating on my camera, just dump a bottle of water on your camera, should be fine. Thank you, General Grant, for that insight. I will be sure to take that information and shove it right up my ass. All right, continuing on here. What gear to run on plate carriers and battle belts? Kind of went over that about that setup. I've also got another setup that's kind of the same. It's my Ace Tac plate carrier. That one is a little bit of a different setup, which, since we're talking about gear, I can show you really quick. Stand by. I just got to get it off the stand. Which is really a pain in the ass. All right. Ace, did I say Ace Tac? Ace Link. Ace Link Skeletac plate carrier. This is more of a minimalist design that I took minimalist and threw it right out the, whatever you want me to say, window. Let me remove the comment so you guys can actually see what's happening here, right? All right. What you'll notice about the Skeletac from Ace Link is that it's ultimately this like composite system that wraps around on to the plate itself. And I've got them in their sleeves that they come with, again, all FDE. You probably noticed this in Call of Duty also. But this is a pretty cool system. I've got on the back what they call a map pack that houses my Marine Corps issue camel pack. Okay. Obviously, too, they've got this set up where you can hold extra magazines in here. The bungee is even in there. It's this like little retaining system. It's pretty cool. It's a good, more of a sustainment type setup. The problem with having a pack mounted to your plate carrier is you pretty much have to remove your plate carrier to get to it, unless you've got a teammate, buddy, whatever, that's with you. If you're an individual by yourself out in the woods, not the best setup. That's pretty much all I can say. So don't do that. Okay. But like I said, you'll notice this is kind of a more of a minimalist design. This is easy enough to remove because it's just all molly, but I'd have to, and it does become its own like little backpack, which is cool. So that's probably the better way to go, is utilize it as an individual backpack, which you can put over your plate carrier. Then when you need to get to it, you can sling it off, right? That's pretty much how assault packs work and everything else. You won't notice a lot of, Marines running, backpacks integrated to their plate carriers because of that issue. But typically you're working in a team environment, a squad element, and you can find that a little bit more common. So again, it depends on your situation, what the mission might dictate, things like that, right? So there you have it. Cool. So that's that setup on that guy. A similar type of panel up front, 2 pistol mags, more of like a little map admin pouch here, 3 rifles across the chest. Okay. So again, I personally, if you can manage it, having multiple plate carriers set up for different objectives or whatever it might be. One, just to keep in the car. Like I do have my guard dog body armor tracker that's really slick. That one just stays in my car because it's super easy to throw on really quick. Just Velcro up front. It doesn't offer me anything other than protection. So keep one of those laying around. You know what I mean? So there you go. Board forts. There's a lot of different plate carriers out there. That much I can tell you. I did like the modularity of the JPC 2.0 from Cry Precision, which is why I went that direction with it. It's pretty much all I got to say. Like I said, I know there's a lot out there that I have yet to even try out, and I definitely want to. I know my buddies over at Blue Force Gear, I saw a plate carrier that they came out with, which I think they call the Breacher, because it has the first man in the element, the Breacher, in mind. So it moves well, right? Which is really cool. It's got an entire like fire retardant system on it. It's a neat plate carrier that I've seen that I don't have any personal experience with yet. But once I do, might do a little bit of a comparison and you guys can see that. Okay. There you go. Can I show you my Beretta 1301? Unfortunately, I can't because YouTube will quickly remove this live stream if I show you, like if I pick it up and handle it. However, you can see it right here. It is this guy. I am running Aridus Industries. Drew a blank there for a second. Aridus Industries 4-end. The removable side caddy, the adapter for the Mossberg Magpul stock, the oversized bolt release, charging handle. Like, it's just, dude, the 1301 Tactical is such a great shotgun. I absolutely love it, and the ATF needs to go kick rocks. We already talked about that last time. So in the last live stream, talking just about that. Let's see here. Continuing on. Let me see. Oh, goodness. So, board forts. You're skinny, so you're also concerned with fitment. Totally get that. A lot of like the cummerbunds I get are aftermarket because what's funny is a lot of it is built for bigger dudes, right? I guess they expect bigger dudes to be in this environment, but there's a lot of, smaller guys that, are in the war fighting profession and whatnot. I mean, take a look at John Lovell, right? The first time I met him, I was like, wow, I found somebody shorter than me. You know what I mean? Who could definitely still kick my ass badly. So, there's a lot of guys that are a little bit skinnier, a little bit smaller built, that have done also a lot of work. But I do find myself that, I've got to find aftermarket support. And I found that with A&A Tactical to get different cummerbunds, things like that, stuff that's a little bit more comfortable. I will say that when I ordered from A&A Tactical, it took like 5 months for that stuff to finally come in. It took forever. And I did email for an update after like a month, 2 months, because they said 4 to 8 weeks. And I'm like, okay, well, after the like 12th week got here, I was like, hello. I just want to make sure you guys got my money. I just want to make sure that this is coming. And eventually it did. And they communicated well. So not a big deal, right? It is what it is. Let's see here. Matthew Dennis is wanting to know, what are my thoughts on the Radical Firearms AR-15? So Radical, I think, makes a decent AR for the price. Again, cheap. Like, let's just be real, cheap. But all the Radicals that I've shot in my career, like at Classic, I didn't have any issues with. They don't, like, for instance, compare it to what I have on the wall behind me, right? This isn't fair at all, but I just kind of want to point something out. Okay. I'm going to move this over. So this pistol that you see right here with the new SBM5 brace, which, by the way, 10 out of 10 would recommend. That brace is freaking sweet. This is an 80M lower, fold AR upper. I believe this is their 12.5-inch barrel, Huxworks Flow 556K, right? The controls alone on this lower receiver, they're butter, right? They're easy to maneuver. You feel the bolt. It doesn't feel clunky and clingy. Clanky, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Like when I handled a Radical. It just felt, you send the bolt home, it just like, versus I send the bolt home on that, and it's just like, yeah. Does any of that make sense? It's so hard without actually like having it in my hands to feel it again and talk about it. You get what you pay for. Let me put it that way. And, but also with that being said, a Radical never failed me for the price. But I'll be coming out with a video very soon. I don't have it on the wall right now, which I reorganized things so I had more room for more shit. I've got an IWI Zion 15 sitting over there that I think for the money is probably one of the best guns out of the box you can get. Rostic Arms RA15 Premium I've got as well, which, by the way, once this channel hits 100,000, that Rostic Arms, well, not that Rostic Arms because it's pretty well used, but a new RA15 Premium kitted out will be, can I say it? I'll just say it, given away. All right. So we'll do that during a live on StreamYard. We'll see how it goes, if YouTube allows it or not. Whatever, dude. But at the same, it's all legal. It still has to go to an FFL, still has to have a 4473 transfer. It's not like I'm meeting somebody in my backyard and say, here you go, have this gun. That's not how any of this works. That's, even though it shouldn't be a problem, but here we are. Okay. Continuing on over here. I am Shields 632. That's right, dude. Hopefully you're getting your AR soon, man. First AR. Trying to decide on which weapon light to get for your pistol and which defensive ammo to get now that I have it. Am I off camera for this one? Yes. Okay, so I am running some Federal HSTs. That, by the way, is my SAS2 Bull Armory SAS2 Ultralight. Tiny guy. So this is some Federal HST hollow points. These things are pretty sweet. You can get them 147 grain, 124 grain. You can get them a plus P, whatever you want. Maybe in a shorter barrel, you want something in a plus P just to give you that extra oomph, but doesn't matter because you're not going to have the barrel length to actually garner or use that for velocity. I don't know. I need to do more research on it personally, but 124 grain standard, probably good. But that's the type of hollow points I like to carry for defensive ammo. I'll be honest though, my shit has hit the fan ammo is that SIG 124 grain plus P. And that's probably going to be ran through my 226 or whatever, or my Bull Armory. But FMJs, man. Accurate. It's gonna do work. That's all there is to it. That's what I'm saying is shit has hit the fan. Red Dawn type of scenario. So there you go. Okay. Let's see here. Let me scroll back up. Want to make sure I'm pretty much getting some questions, stuff like that. We had another super chat come through. So thank you very much, Terry. Appreciate that. Simplify to you. To say, once the title U.S. Marine has been earned, it is retained. There are no ex-Marines or former Marines. There are active duty Marines, retired Marines, reserve Marines, and veterans. Nonetheless, has earned the title Marine for life. Simplify. Cheers. All right. Ruger American Gen 2 or the Tika T3X Super Light chambered in 300 Win Mag. Anytime I hear 300 Win Mag and Super Light, probably not, but let's continue. Which one do you recommend simplify? Okay. The Ruger American I've been hearing a lot of really positive things about. Okay. Tika makes a phenomenal bolt gun as well. That being said, 300 Win Mag, it's a pretty serious round. I would like something ergonomic, something comfortable, something that's going to withstand that little bit of recoil that you're probably going to feel. For instance, a lot of the 300 Win Mag experience that I have is through a Mark 13 Mod O, and that's a bigger, heavier system. We had like what at least a 3-chamber brake on that guy, so all those gases really cut down on the recoil. Personally, I'd probably go Ruger American for these two. I don't know. Chat, help me out here. You guys probably actually, a few of you might know better than I do. So you guys let me know, all right? All right. Mercury on Rumble. Speaking of shit hitting the fan, the hell do you think is going to happen over in Europe before January 20th? I don't know, man. Stuff's getting weird over there, you know? ICBMs and whatnot. I can tell you one thing, though. This might sound a little messed up, but it shouldn't be our concern. So, we could talk about that in a separate video, or if y'all want to talk about it tonight, let's go. All right. So Brian's saying, good old Savage Axis. So I was going to do a video on the Savage Axis 2 in one classic shoot, and I think it was the Savage Axis 2. And literally the barrel in action came loose from the actual stock. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing this video. And I shot like so many, and that was the first time that ever happened. It was pretty wild. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's that. But, oh well. Rent collector, NATO, it is our concern. Oh, because Ukraine's in part of NATO? Let's see here. Larry, give all the taxpayers money to the homeless vets and their well-being. I can definitely agree with that. So there you go. I am Shield 632. It's not messed up at all. The world's problems are not our problems. Also, yes, like Israel. Been saying that too for the longest time. Our financial aid that we've been giving, $7 million went to Egypt for their tourism from the United States. Yeah, that needs to stop too. Aid to Israel. Look, dude, the most of our aid should be, whatever, dude. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Most of our aid to most of the world should be best of luck. USS Cole. Better remember that. So there's, yeah. Now, I'm just trying to think of a good situation in which the United States needs to get involved. Because last time I checked, when we went to faraway lands for 20 years or so, and had a lot of loss of life, devastation, we got what out of it? And yeah, I mean, to be a little selfish here, what did it do for the American people? Better yet, what did it do for the Iraqi people and the Afghani people? And where are they at now? Okay. This being said, as a currently serving United States Marine Corps reservist, if I am called up, hey, bro, shit just got real in Ukraine and we're going, well, I guess I'll be on a boat with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, God. So there you go. Liberty, Cole. Oh, good job, Clint. Yes, thank you. But there we go. You don't remember the Visit Egypt commercials? Oh, man. No, I don't watch a lot of TV. I can't say that. But there you go. And yeah, I probably won't be on a boat. Might be a C-17, but who knows? That's if there's like, yeah, they'll make it happen. That's all there is to it. Oh man, appreciate it, JC. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, dude, I hope not either. Like, one of the, I guess we're kind of like deviate a little bit from gear talk, but there's quite a bit of different gear setups, especially being utilized over there right now. Shotguns are pretty popular, for all the drones and whatnot. But with that, as we're kind of more talking about the world stage and politics and that, I guess you could say, topic, if you do have questions, if you're watching this video a little bit later after it's published, after the live stream, drop your comments or questions about gear related topics down below. Okay. Hopefully you found this video informative, and I will be doing a dedicated range setup video soon. So that way you miss the hour-long talk about a bunch of stuff. Okay. Now, with that being said, for everybody still here on the live, let's get into it. Right. So yeah, I'd rather not. I'm having a hard time seeing as an individual any conflict currently taking place that will not actually be for the protection or betterment of my children. I am looking at it from that lens because I'm a dad now. I really have to find meaning in leaving my family for God knows how long, if to ever return. And I'm not obligated. I don't have to stay in the Marines right now. I can get out at any point in time. And if I'm being completely truthful with you, if Kamala Harris would have actually won, probably would have just finished out my contract and not re-enlisted. With that being said, as of right now, I'm 13 years in. Why not stick around, I guess? But I'm also weighing the pros and cons about staying in. It's gotten to a point where it's like, man, I've done 13, it'll be 14 years in January. I don't make a lot of money being in the reserves. I've never done active duty. I've never been deployed. So my retirement, especially as a career reservist, that's like 30 years, not 20 years. So I'm not even halfway done if you want to look at it that way. My retirement might get me gas money at the end of each month. One of the biggest reasons I'm in is probably the biggest reason most people stay in the fight. And that's for, well, the Marines to my left and right type of thing. Like, that camaraderie is what it's all about. And I know, even though it's something I do part-time, less than part-time, I'd miss it. Not as much as I'd miss my kids, though. And I think that Lily and Wyatt having their dad go off to some distant land to fight for what, with the potential of never coming home, isn't going to do them any favors. I'd rather be a present father. And that's that. So now, if we actually had another true World War scenario where I thought the invasion or destruction of the United States was possible and that the future of my children might truly be in jeopardy, I have an obligation then. This is in my mind. Not everybody might think the same way I do, and that's completely fine, right? But I'm just speaking to you guys how I feel about it and how I have thought about it. You can tell me what you think in the chat, and we can have a conversation about it. But I'm just letting you guys know how I feel when it comes to this. I might change the title after this drops, like, hey, live gear review / Would I deploy right now? I don't know. Will I stay in the military? I don't know, whatever the title might be. You know what I mean? So, and this is something I wanted to talk about too, Rent. Having a family while serving is much different than doing it as a young man. The divorce rate is so high, it's shameful. I know. I know. And here's the thing. When I was younger, dude, and I'm talking like not 10 years ago, when 10 years ago when I joined, I was already 3 years in. I was legitimately, that was 2011 though, right when things started to immediately cool down. I joined in 2011 and I immediately showed up to my unit and started volunteering and signing up for every deployment I could get my hands on. As a private first class, you get overlooked a lot. By the time I started reaching the NCO ranks, there was pretty much nothing. And so it's like, okay, I joined in some regard too late. In another regard, depending on how you look at it, I joined at the perfect time. Can you imagine now, let's say 10 years ago, if I joined and I was in for 14 years, I'd probably already have multiple deployments, right? But depending on how you look at it, some people say, hey, you're super fortunate, right? The other aspect of it is, as a leader of Marines, as a staff sergeant, as somebody who has a lot of experience in training, but not any experience whatsoever in actually supplying a fighting force to kill the enemy. To me, as a Marine, it's almost like I have yet, even though I'm almost 14 years in as a staff sergeant, I have yet to prove myself. You know, that's, how I feel about it. And what's crazy is those guys that I looked up to when I first joined is, I skipped private rank because I did 4 years of ROTC, right? So I came in as an E2, a PFC. And when I joined my unit, the sergeants and the corporals that were my squad leaders, my fire team leaders even, they already had like 2 deployments under their belts, right? So I'm getting in there like, all right, let's do this. And overlooked. Nope. Yeah, what are you going to do? Hell, even as recently as 20, speaking of divorce, the year before I got my divorce, I wanted to go do something so bad. I sent in my reserve qualification summary to a lieutenant colonel for deployment and was overlooked then. Why? Because I didn't have a deployment experience. And I'm like, what are you going to do? So, yeah, it's that. Oh, man. Crazy, right? Here we are. There we go. So let me get back to some of what you guys are saying. I'm sure there's going to be some people that might not agree with that mindset or whatever else, but hey, it is what it is. Military industrial complex at its finest. Yeah, there you go. Take your Ray-Bans. If you go overseas, take your Ray-Bans so we can see you in action. I'll live stream it because you can live it, Oh yeah. Watch all these war crimes. I'm just kidding. Oh man. Let's see here. Got a couple more super chats that came in. Scott Hughes, thoughts on Trump's new AG appointee? Nope. So Pam Bondi, 4 red flag laws, big time. And I didn't need to watch much more. Sorry, no. Like that's done. I don't care if she's got some like perfect views on everything else. You are looking to bypass the Second Amendment, the Constitution. Okay. Hopefully, Trump, who has said scary things in the past, similarly, like, take the guns first. Hopefully he has better advisors this time, and we'll listen to them. Hopefully all of us that call our representatives and tell them to vote no for this reason Hopefully that happens. And it's overwhelming and people actually hear us. Because red flag laws have proven to not be effective. They've actually got more innocent people killed than most likely saved. Hard to, it's hard to actually quantify these numbers, just like how many lives are saved through lawful firearm use every year. It's hard to quantify those numbers. Why? Because it's a lot easier to count bodies on the floor than those that have made it home. So, anyway, thank you, Scott. Well, that was weird. That was really weird. You still got audio and everything, right? I don't know. It's going to check, make sure. Yeah. That was really weird. I clicked on Solo Gordo's super chat and then it just like crashed for some reason. Strange. America needs to fix itself before helping other countries. Help yourself first before helping others. Right. Just like they say on the airplanes, put your mask on first before you put on somebody else's or your kids. Yeah. Thank you, Solo. Appreciate it, man. Banshee Rider 216. God bless our active and active service members and their families. Thank you all. Appreciate that. And yes, absolutely. Midnight's Hunter. Wars of necessity, not Iraq. Many of us knew not democratizing the Middle East as the Republican neoconservatives blundered with military-industrial complex, increasing terrorism. Eisenhower. A little choppy, but here's what I think ultimately happened when you look at the Middle East. We did a lot better job at radicalizing so many. And the few allies that we did gain, we left them. You know what I'm saying? So. NSA, are you watching? Yeah, maybe. Cool. Well, I'm glad everything's back up. Refreshed it. Here we are. Good. Yeah, Brandon for ATF. Let's go, Brandon. Yes, you can bring back all of your Let's Go Brandon merch because Brandon Herrera might actually have a real shot at ATF director. Still has to get voted in though. So see about that. Clint, what's your take on shoulder padding stitch into jacket for rifle work? Like those fuddy jackets, honestly, super practical. Dude, how long has Paul Harrell been wearing his, right? I'm pretty sure that had padded in it. But it is kind of funny whenever you see those, you just think, oh, FUD, right? But, this stuff works. It makes sense. Especially if you're going to be all day shooting, whatever it might be, run that shit, dude. If it's comfortable, easy enough, right? The best way to take our first is to take away our second. Yes, absolutely. Ban 3-letter agencies. Scott, he's got a point, y'all. He's got a point. Oh, man. Let's see here. They watching now, right? Trap shooters vests. Exactly. Back to Kier. Do you recommend the McLean sling? I'm glad you mentioned that because slings was another thing I wanted to bring up. I do recommend the McLean Core sling. It's just, I've mentioned this a couple of times in a specific scenario, right? Something that I know is going to be CQB only. That's pretty much what I'm going to run. It's nice to have that administrative carry with it too, so that way it stays nice and high and close to your chest. If you need to go hands-on, whatever, throw it behind your back. It works. It's cool. Typically what I use, though, is this guy right here. Tech 10 sling. This is one with the swinger mount. This actually connects, depending on what stock you have, B5 soft mod stock, LMT, whatever it is, has a cutout. You can put a, it's going to be difficult to see, but right back here on all my B5 stocks, actually, there's a QD insert right down here on the stock itself, where this plugs into like so. That then allows me to run this, just like you see. I really like the Tech 10 sling because this allows me to get a lot of, I guess you could say, lead on it if need be. So that way I can switch shoulders easily, things like that. That's why that's called the swinger, because it goes from both sides very easily because it swings from side to side. And then with this strap here, it allows me to pull and really cinch that down and tighten it up. So that way if I need it closer to the body, I can. I am definitely more of a fan of 2-point slings than I am single points, right? So there you go. Let's see here. Oh, don't ban GOA. GOA is not an agency, 501c3 organization, all right? Also, we should all probably stop fast food, but there's something about it, you know what I mean? Ghillie shooter. There's pretty much 3 ways for the aftermath of a foreign campaign. Ownership, work towards bringing the new land into the fold. Leaving, not our problem. Occupation, good or bad, it leads to further resentment and loss of life, tons of wasted money. And that's pretty much what the course of history has taught us. Right? However, there are certain examples to where Germany, Japan, United States forces still have an active presence there, right? And if you can, through diplomacy, that's what I was looking for, through actual good diplomacy, it might take a long time, but you might be able to make your enemies your friends, right? So there you have it. Oh, man. Let's see here. What's that? Carlos? Card red penalty. NSA card red penalty. Right. Oh, man. Let me see. I'm not going to do any firearm blasters today. I was going to take a look at Magdump Mafia to see about gear. Right. So if there's any vests or anything like that in there, I'll definitely check it out. But like I said, I'm not showing any guns, and there's actually a reason for this. YouTube's been limiting my live streams because I've been showing the builds. I'm definitely going to continue the blast your blasters. I don't care about that, right? But I want to do a little test with them to see, like, what else will you ban? Gear, even like showing plate carriers, helmets, stuff that I showed you tonight, knives, things like that, right? Even though knives are used in more crime and homicide than what's that other thing? Yeah, crazy. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Mercury, for stopping in. Appreciate that. That's the sling my wife prefers to beat me with. All right. 601 Firepower. You like the Ace Tac chest rig. Just got mine in, but also have my chest rig. I don't know your chest rig, but yes, I really like the Ace Tac, the SOP. Again, that's what's wrong way. That's what's on the plate carrier here. That guy. I am a fan of it. And what's great is it's cheap. You know, it's not made in the US, but hey, it looks good. It's functional and it's cheap enough. Like, I think it was like $80, where if I mess it up, I just get a new one. Some of these chest rigs now, like, dude, as much as a plate carrier, you know, it's like, damn, dude. So there you go. That one is going to need a dedicated video, comms, because one, my comms are, hey, you over there, right? So getting into actual communication, I think what could do communities a big favor are CB radios and ham radio operators. As far as like team-based communications, that's going to be a whole different segment. One that I'm going to need to bring somebody else's advice or expertise into, because like I said, mine is voice projection. All right. So there you go. Let's see here. Anyone have any thoughts on the Unit 4 training ARs? Learned about those today through an interview with Kyle Morgan and Blake Cook. Interesting. I know there's Unit Solutions, who I hope to be talking with soon because I kind of like that stuff. So I'm not sure about the Unit 4 training ARs, but I mean, I got Google right in front of me. Unit 4 training rifle. Unit Solutions. That's who I'm talking about. Cool. I have a meeting with them tomorrow, I think. I'll let you know. I have actually shot some of these, and they are super cool. The downside is they cost as much as a real AR. That being said, for training purposes, it's going to be hard to beat that. You got to think these are ultimately blue guns. You can't run real ammunition, put on real gun parts or whatever. There's no making that happen at the end of the day. But stuff's cool. So I am Shields. Stand by. I probably will have something like that on the channel soon. Might have a couple of buddies, and we might go at it. Drone footage will definitely be a necessity. So that'll be pretty fun. All right. I have not tried the Onward Research Recce rig. I have not tried that, Geo. Good to see you, man. Hope you've been doing well. All right. Let's see here. Alaska Ted is saying just go with Rumble and X free speech rules. That it does. Unfortunately, YouTube has the audience. Additionally, why I still like posting and why I ultimately still like YouTube. It allows me to break into the echo chamber. Even though YouTube might suppress it, I still get comments. I still get messages, emails from people who don't think like us, right? That means the viewership is still actually there. I go to Rumble, I go to Twitter. It's an echo chamber. A good echo chamber because it's all of us pro-gun guys. But it's more of the same, so we'll see. But Solo's wanting to know what nods am I planning to get. So there's those articulating ruggedized dual tubes that I've been looking at. There's a couple of different brands that I've been looking at. So all that's to come right here. Local to me, Nocturne is pretty close, and I'd really like to work with them again because they're local. So that might be the way I go. All right, cool. Gilly Show, occupation is bullshit. Always is for or against type of idea. It's unnecessary, needs to be rethought before enacting. Yeah, I can agree with that. Right, I can definitely agree with that. Let's see here. Also, I'm just looking to see if you guys have any gear that's being submitted. You know what I mean? I'm just looking. So, oh man, you don't know where you got Unit 4 from. It's all good. But yeah, Unit Solutions. Like I said, funny that you mention them now. Going to be talking with them soon. So that's pretty cool. And Elon should buy YouTube as well. Would not be mad about that. Would not be mad about that whatsoever. And yes, we do have to use multiple outlets. We just have 2 multiple outlets. Yeah, we just have to use multiple outlets. You're absolutely right. That is definitely the way to go. CZP10C. Tanner, good to see you, man. Thanks for being a member. So the P10C is, I don't have a shit ton of experience with the CZ P10C. I can tell you right now, though, the experience that I do have with that pistol is very favorable. It's nice. It's ergonomic. It feels great to shoot. It's superior to Glock. What do you want me to say? So there you go. Oh, man. You would love to see how accurate a LWRC I is. That's my LWRCI up there. It's not completely in frame. That's my 300 blackout guy. Love that gun. That thing is a lot of fun. And yes, Rob, PVS 31As are a way I am looking, or at least something similar to the A's. I'm trying to remember which one's more durable. If there's like a D model or something that's like a I don't remember, but something dual tube, white phosphor. Just ordered a K0 plate carrier and magnetics belt from Agilite. Nice. Anybody have any experience? Not sure if the Warfighter cummerbund is worth the upgrade. I know Agilite has got a great reputation. I never worked with them. They liked Kaya more. And so Kaya definitely has more experience with Agilite. So maybe, are they even doing streams anymore? I was going to say, because I remember like jumping in on one not too long ago. When's the last time that they did a live stream? Yeah, the last one they did was the one that I jumped in on 3 months ago. Where'd you go? Thought it's been a minute. Aaron is not. No. Aaron's been doing full-time Canic work, man. I'm proud of my man Aaron. I got to catch up with him some. Last time I saw him was that 2 weeks ago? No, 3 weeks ago at CanCon down in South Carolina. It was really good to see him though. But yeah, we stay in touch. And let's see here. PVS 14 and RH 25 combo. Gunfighter 13 says, "Whew, boy howdy, boy howdy, boy howdy, boy howdy." Let's see here. The KO is awesome. The magnetics is also awesome from Tactical Jawa. The Warfighter is not needed unless you're going to load it up with side plates. And that's the other thing too, side plates. You can make them comfortable. You can make it the weight kind of advantageous to you, but you start finding this fine line between mobility and protection. One would argue, stay mobile, don't get shot. The other would argue, sometimes you can't help if you get shot. And if you do get shot, I'd rather have it protected on all sides. You got to find what works best for you. And that's why I like to have different plate carriers set up for whatever it might be. Like I said, room clearing, things like that. Yeah, boy, I want to go in fully kitted. If I don't want to be out on the trail all day, yeah, I might ditch the side plates. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Let's see here. Yeah, the ruggedized night visions. Yeah, RD and VGs. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. But yes, Aaron and Adam are Canic, of course. Glock haters, Camaro kid. I've got my Glock, dude. I got two actually. I got a 19 Gen 4 and my 17 Gen 3 with the Franklin Armory binary system because that shit's fun, dude. So there you have it. All right. And yes, we are talking about Aaron Suzo from Classic. He wasn't like a full-time employee with Classic anyway. He came down and filmed with us. He was more contracted, I guess you could say. So, like I said, it's been a while since I've been there, so I don't know what all has come or whatever. Aaron's Brian, cheap $70 plate carrier, guard dog plates front and back, ballistic pants, still looking for a good helmet and nod setup. I feel you, dog. Balling on a budget, man. Keep it up. Cardio is a big deal. Definitely a big deal. All right. Let's see here. What did Gilly Shooter say? Because I'm seeing Crunchy Taco respond. Okay. Yep. Only reason for occupation is to ensure as much peace as possible while taking full control, assimilating the territory. Still not really a good value proposition. Hasn't been for probably centuries at this point. And then Crunchy Taco responded, Gilly Shooter, yes, if we are overthrowing governments for the good of the people, I'm okay with it as long as the debt is paid back after bettering the country we liberated. Last I checked, there's a few countries indebted to us for doing their bidding. Solid. The Tracker, great plate carrier. I honestly like it a lot. Okay, I know this isn't exactly your forte, but any gear suggestions for the big and tall? Emphasis on the tall being 6'5". Damn. Has its pros and cons, and one of those cons is nothing fits me. there's a dedicated there's a solution for you. I just can't remember what it is. If y'all can help out our man Dunkasaur, I swear I even recently saw like body armor gear for the big and tall dudes out there, and now I just can't remember. Tanner, sheet of 10. Oh man. I don't know if I want to click on this comment, but Scott is saying the latest classic video was so bad. It was supposed to be about different Geisley triggers. They call it a dual stage, a single stage, and they said the SDC had an assisted reset. So I can understand one of the triggers. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had a it's like a 2-stage, but the break is like it probably would have even threw me for a loop, right? Yeah. I was hoping to come to their defense a little bit better. But calling a dual stage a single stage, like I said, I kind of get where it's coming from, but articulating that might be a little difficult because I'm having a hard time doing it, but I also haven't had experience with that specific trigger. And so, it is what it is. But yeah, making sure, I don't know. I mean, they could have called me, they could have flown me down and, I could have just cameoed or just one time, you know what I mean? Just saying, I guess. Just saying. Nighthawks are nice. Yeah. Somebody, Tanner, I think I saw somebody ask, because I got this, Tanner also says every CZ is greater than Glock. I did see something about Nighthawk 2011s, and Nighthawks are just incredible pistols to begin with. So there you go. Let's see here. Let's see. JC, I'm 5'9". Hello, fellow 5'9". That's 69 inches. Cheers. Best bud is 6'4". He always has problems buying gear. I believe it, dude. I absolutely believe it. Here we go. The Monadnock shoot us. Good to see you, Jake. They were talking about the SSA X, I think, if I recall, has a very, very slight take-up. They corrected themselves at least. Well, that's good. BDS tactical gear for carrier upgrades. There you go. In classics, they corrected it and said it was a 2-stage trigger. All right, cool. Jake, because the Monadnock shoot us, also named Jake. Thank you guys for clarifying that. That's good. Sheesh, all the Glock hate was figuring on one for my second pistol. Going to go with the 2-pistol and AR setup for myself overall. All right, let me just go ahead and clarify something about the Glock hate, right? Glocks get hate because at the end of the day, how many generations of perfection do you need, right? If the first gen was, Glock perfection, then why change it, okay? That's all kind of joking. With that being said, I can tell you this about Glock. What you're getting at the end of the day is a very reliable and safe pistol. You're getting something that is going to work. They're accurate enough. They're going to do everything you need them to do. Their ergonomics are sometimes less than. Their controls even. Like, for instance, one of the biggest issues I have that I've since paid attention to on multiple pistols, but primarily Glocks, I always ran into the issue was riding the slide release. Naturally, right where my non-dominant thumb would lie when I'm holding a pistol would be right on the slide release. So that last round, instead of getting a slide lock, I get a click. And that's nothing you want to have happen, right? So that's just a very basic example of ergonomics. You take a look. I've never had that happen with like my SIG 320s, my Bull Armories, or anything else like that. I know that's not a fair comparison because, again, striker fired versus hammer fired in that regard, but that aside. Now, with that, Glocks are very popular. I think another reason they kind of get shit on is because a lot of people might just say, hey, I bought a Glock. But they don't ever train with it. They don't ever do anything with it. You kind of have this association where it's like, oh, you just bought a Glock. Like, hey, I bought a pump action shotgun for home defense. It's not so much the issue with the firearm. It's the issue with the people that buy the firearm, right? So there could be that kind of an issue. Also, that being said, you take a look at a lot of people, a lot of agencies, a lot of militaries that utilize a Glock pistol for their primary sidearm, right? Their primary, secondary. And so there's nothing wrong at the end of the day with a Glock. They also just kind of do things that are kind of silly. Like when they put in for the modular handgun system contract, they submitted a Glock because it's a Glock, right? Glock modularity isn't really modular. Versus, again, why SIG? Well, for one, money, always. But there's a fire control unit that, imagine just the trigger, right? And the mechanism surrounding the trigger. You can take that out and put this grip. You can put a smaller grip, a bigger grip, larger slide, longer slide, shorter slide. You can go shorter slide, comp, and then longer, frame. And so you have kind of like this like little integral looking compensated expansion chamber pistol thing. And then with a Glock, you've got Glock. And so Glock got a little bit of a shit reputation because it's like, we're Glock. We should just win. Here you go. Here's our submission. It's not modular. It's not doing anything that the DoD asked for it to do. But it's Glock. With that being said, they're good, reliable pistols. Affordable for the most part. So a lot of people just like to snuff their nose at them. No, snub their nose at them. Whatever. The argument, on the other hand, will be at least they go off when they're supposed to and not when they're not supposed to. The counter argument is that's old news. That's not a problem. $11 million later, here we are. But I still have multiple SIGs and multiple Glocks. Have a little bit of everything. Okay, there you go. All right, man. That was a fun. Oh man. Let's see what the comment section has to say about that. Okay. Yes, Gen 5 Glocks are definitely where it's at. The Glock 45. Also, a lot of people like to make fun of the numbers, things like that, because you would expect like the Glock 45 to be chambered in 45 ACP. No, it's chambered in 9 mil. And the Glock 44 is a 22. Vastly different. It's just silly things like that, right? So there you go. But yes, the Gen 5s are freaking awesome. Since all the hate, what do you think about 40 cal? Welcome to 2024. 40 cal is done. That's what I think about that. Jake, I have the answer to the big and tall issue, but unfortunately I'm recovering from major back surgery and can't get upstairs to check the brand. Damn. Next live stream. Also, hope your recovery is swift, smooth, and painless as possible. Thanks for being here, Jake. Vulcan Rumble, what do you think of the HK-CC9 for use by decrypted material couriers and Air Force pilots in anti-terror work? Bro, I got no experience with the HK-CC9. I don't even think I've seen one yet, so I can't give 2 cents of opinion on it. But with that being said, it's HK, so it's got to be perfect and great and wonderful and everything we could ever ask for, just like that HK-416 A4 that has a $4,000 price tag on it, but not a chrome line barrel, right? Right. All right, HK-45 or P-30 for the win. Also, yes, maybe one day I'll have an HK something. Solo Gordo, I did a pistol course this past weekend, 500 rounds, no failures on my Glock 19. It's boring, but it works. And that's what you want. You want a gun that works. Let's see. Thankfully on my MMP, I don't hit the slide lock with my grip. That's good. Let's see. Camaro Kid saying only slim Glocks rule. Monadnock, I watched the 110 SAS's actuals, 110 SAS. Actual's video, I really like his videos. He does solid work. He broke down why buying Glocks are semi-pointless at this point. At their price point, you can get a PDP or a CZ with way better features and about equal reliability. So, and Ryan says he'd take a free Glock. There you go. Oh man. Let's see here. Jay, here's my, so we got a, I can show this. Let's take a look at this. That. Oh, also, yes, true. The most modular thing they have is the Glock 47 and Glock 49. So you can go pretty much from like a 19 slide to a 17 slide. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm going to show this one, and then I got to cut it short tonight, guys. So stand by for just a second after this, because we're just going to do a gear review. All right. First time doing a gear review. I'll start doing these, maybe about as often as I do the build your reviews, because I find this stuff pretty interesting, and we can have a lot of fun with it. Right. So Jay is saying, here's his kit: Shaw Concepts Art Carrier V2 with the Shaw Usurper Belt V2 Alien Gear Rapid Force level holster for his Agency Sage 320. That's badass. That's a solid setup. Let's take a look at it here really quick. Hello. There it is. Share. There you guys go. Take a look at that little setup there. We've got Ticonderoga. Okay. What mag pouches are that? Is that all? It's not Blue Force gear. Yeah, who makes that stuff? The Maxpedition drop pouches or dump pouches. I haven't worked with those. That's a pretty solid little setup there. So you've got the chest harness there, or the H harness, to help out with the load bearing. I see you. Like the little knife setup too, man. All right. I see you. Hey, fixed blades are where it's at, man. You might need that stuff, right? That's a solid little setup there. All right. What do you guys think? What do you think about the gear here? What do you guys? Ghost is giving it a 7. There you go. Wait, what? Vulcan, are the eggs at the Rex restaurant next to the not firearms any good? Bro, I have no idea. Let's see, 6.5, but I'm not a good gear reviewer. 7.5, I see scissors. Yeah, I got scissors on mine wherever I put my... Yeah, see? Scissors, yo. Because you never know. Maximus Decimus Meridius gives it a good solid 8.9. Cool. We got that guy Cardo. Cool. I'm getting an IWI Zion next couple weeks. Hey, for a good base AR, solid. 7.5 from Gunfighter 13. 10 because I know nothing about them. That's funny. Banshee don't own either. Ethan, do you? Okay. You going to Ruckle the Bailey after this? Probably not. I'm going to go probably help take care of my daughter, because it sounds like she might be burning up a little bit. So got to go check on her. 7.5, no light, no can, no sling. That's pretty funny, man. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's that one there. Appreciate you submitting that, Jay. If you're in the chat, say, hey, good little setup there. But let me know what you guys think overall, right? 8. Not so concealing. No, I mean, sometimes you can have concealable kit versus overt kit. That might be another good one to discuss, right? 8.6 for the cool factor. Okay. Scott Hughes, the email is magdumpmafia@gmail.com. While you're at that, take a look at magdumpmerch.store to check out, all these different things we got coming just in time for the cold winter months. If you'd like to support the channel, obviously. Again, these soft shells are by Rothko. Rothko, I've always thought was kind of like a meh company, but when it came to their jackets, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty nifty. This is a medium on me again. And again, for up here, we actually got a little bit of snow last night. For up here, The soft shell does a really good job at wind breaking. It's got the bungee down here, so it can get tight around the waist, which is really nice, or you can loosen it up. It depends on you. And like I said, it's more loose fitting because, well, outer layers. So there you have it. That's pretty much it. Oh, it's got this. I will say this, though. It doesn't have pockets here where I really want them to be, which isn't that big of a deal. I'll just put them in my pants. But it does have like this like little hidden pocket back here, which is kind of fun. I don't know what I would really use that for, so maybe you guys can enlighten me. Other than that, though, you got Velcro everywhere. I threw on one of my patches because marketing, bro. But yeah, you got stuff and things that are easy enough to use. Velcro around here if you wanted to tighten it up. I don't know. I really like the jacket, and I looked at the price elsewhere on the market, and I think mine's the cheapest, so you're welcome. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll leave it off there, though. And, of course, I've got, like, I did get some double XLs. Is that fat guy size? I'm sorry. I don't know. I may have even gotten 3XL. I don't know. Actually, by the way, that is Cal Kestis's lightsaber. That's light side. I'll do a lightsaber review soon because I'm a nerd. All right, there you go. All right. Parade rest pockets. Bro, if only I could actually wear that in uniform. You know how comfortable that would be, and I could just sit there and let them sag. That's smart. All right, cool. Back pockets for the person that's hugging you. Oh, that's good, man. If Clint doesn't have your size, it means cardio is the answer. All I'm saying is I can only afford the sizes that sell the most. All right, that's what I'm working on. All right. Oh man. And Keith said he's a medium if you want to buy all the all the gifts. Light side is debatable after the last game. He's still a Jedi. All right. Jessica Simp, may the force be with you. I'll end it off on that one there. And I appreciate every last one of you guys tuning in, of course. Thank you again for the super chats and super stickers that came through. All the members, greatly appreciate every last one of you guys. And hey, God bless y'all. We'll see you right here on the next one. And big ol' happy cheers. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you guys, there's something about an old fashioned that's just really freaking good. So there you go.